It's all going to zero against Bitcoin.
It's going up forever, Wally.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. It's Friday, November 3rd in the year 2023. So you can tell from the title, crazy stuff happening everywhere today on the Twitterverse. Of course, we will be covering Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 counts. And of course, you guys should know if you're tuning in every single day to Simply Bitcoin, we don't usually talk about altcoiners. Again, it is still the very beginning of the YouTube show, so we will use the nomenclature altcoiners for the time being because it waters down our message. We don't ever really want to talk about altcoins because we believe it is Bitcoin, not altcoins. There is Bitcoin and then there's everything else. And the point of this show is to try to separate Bitcoin from everything else. But for better or worse, guys, the average person has had SBF on their radar. I even was telling Rustin yesterday, one of my friends, I haven't talked to him in a while. He was asking me what I'm doing lately. I told him Simply Bitcoin, and his follow-up question was, what is your thoughts on this SBF guy? And I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. My parents have been talking about him. You know, all the public media has been talking about him. And finally, I guess justice may have caught up with him. Welcome to law, SBF. And, you can't just commit fraud out there in the name of altcoins and doing good by the people. It is what it is. There are laws in this country, and it seems that SBF has been found guilty on all 7 counts. We will be talking about that. We got a bunch of clips. We will be kind of trolling it out a little bit as well. Rustin's going to give you guys all of the signal on that one in the news segment. And in the numbers, we were talking about it yesterday. We are seeing at the current stage of the Bitcoin bull market, maybe the end of the crab market, the very end, tail end of a bear market. We're going to cover for you guys where we are in the cycle. And we got a solid clip from Michael Saylor at his MicroStrategy earnings call, basically saying what we've been saying all year long here, that people are looking for alternatives. We are seeing public consciousness raise, public attention raise in regards to Bitcoin and what that means moving forward. So we'll be talking about that in the numbers and the culture I mentioned yesterday. I saw this thread and I really enjoyed it, and it was on BlackRock and Bitcoin. So I'm going to cover that. I know we all have the view of F BlackRock. We don't really like BlackRock, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I think they may be incentivized to play along with the rules. I'm even going to bring up the white paper and the incentives portion of the white paper, which maybe Satoshi was right all along. And this is why we are doing what we're doing, because if BlackRock can take down Bitcoin, then what are we really doing here? And then actually, before I move on, I'm not sure if you guys saw this morning, but shouts out to our brothers over at Bitcoin Magazine. Apparently, the Federal Reserve is suing them for basically making a parody t-shirt of the FedNow system. And they're saying that they are infringing on their copyright. Absolutely incredible. We do not want to associate ourselves with FedNow system. And the boys over at Bitcoin Magazine, I guess, are over the target. This is more credence to the idea of then they fight you stage. Absolutely incredible stuff. We will get into that a little bit towards the end of the news segment. But welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, and of course, mimetic warfare. We bring on Bitcoiners from all around the world, from the biggest names to the everyday Bitcoiner. We got them all, and we will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Of course, I'm not alone. I got my boy Rustin here. And I already know that we're going to get a little crazy. It is the Friday show. Things should get a little lighthearted. I saw a little bit of what Rustin has in store for you guys, and just going to forewarn you, we will be giving you the signal, but we are going to troll it out a little bit. I'm going to be honest. Well, we're going to break the news in a lighthearted way.
We're going to have some fun today. We're going to have some fun
Rustin,
today.
how you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm stoked up. I'm so stoked up to be happy to be here. We get a lot of good news. Apparently, maybe the system kind of works, but not really. So we'll dive into that and see what was left out of the trial and the charges. It's very interesting. how the media treated this guy leading up to it, all throughout the whole thing. They loved this guy. He came out of nowhere. He looked like he lived under an overpass, and he was their darling. We got a very good clip of what's his name? O'Leary. What? Stop listening to these people. They are absolute morons. And I think we're coming to a conclusion. Maybe the CDC will pick this up, but maybe there may be a connection between degenerative mental illness and prolonged use of shitcoins. So we're going to dive into that and see if we can get to find the bottom of it. And also, we are way over the target. Bitcoin news in the Fed now. We got some good nuggets for that too.
Love to see it, guys. As we always say, Bitcoin is the peaceful revolution, and memes are artillery. Ridicule is a powerful tool in our toolbox. And hey, guys, it is working. And actually, before we go in there, it's absolutely incredible that people at the Federal Reserve are digesting Bitcoin content. Like, we're winning, absolutely winning so hard. It's incredible.
I want to know how many of them have one of those shirts. We got to get to the bottom.
Not many. I actually talked with my boy Joe that not many have those shirts at all. So strikes in effect in real time. We'll see. Anyways, guys, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get into this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed.
All right, guys, scan the QR code. Make sure your seed phrase is backed up. It's not on a piece of paper in your sock drawer. Get yourself a Stamp Seed kit. And also, actually, before I forget, guys, we are so close to hitting our 21K subscriber threshold on YouTube. We will be doing a giveaway. I'm guessing probably live on Monday. And the mega prize is a Stamp Seed full kit. We might even throw in a shirt or a hoodie in there. I don't know. We'll talk about it over the weekend. But one of you guys in the chat that's been hanging out with us all year, I wrote my list down. You will be getting a Stamp Seed kit. But for everyone else, make sure you scan the QR code and you secure your seed phrase in something that will last the test of time. Anyways, let's get into the numbers, guys, because got a lot to talk about. Anyways, my favorite number, the block height. TikTok next block. The only date that matters is the block height. And we are currently at 815,138. The current Bitcoin price is 34,730. And actually, little side tangent. Rustin, we got rug pulled yesterday with our clickbait title. Apparently, the Bitcoin price dumped on us when we were like, why did the price go up?
Yeah, Bitcoin totally trolled us yesterday. Oh, that is 100%.
Max pain in regard to the price. Anyways, the current Moscow time, a.k.a. what your fiat dollar is worth, a.k.a. how much Bitcoin you can buy for a single dollar, is currently at 2,879 sats per dollar. Or for you bit maxis out there, 287 bits. The total percentage of Bitcoin that will ever be issued, I repeat, ever be issued, until the end of time is currently at 93.01%. The market cap of Bitcoin in fiat terms is at $678.4 billion. The realized monetary inflation taking fiat currencies to school is at 1.74%, and that will get cut in half. It will go down. It's going to go down in April, roughly April. The Bitcoin versus gold market cap is at 5.11%. barely at 5% of the gold market cap, and that is $10 trillion, guys. And you guys are bearish out there. Couldn't be me, can't relate. Anyways, the total public lightning capacity is at 5,306.99 BTC. The hash rate the last 90 days is at 415.4 exahashes. The pending fees, wow, okay, yesterday was at 1.9. Today's at 3.9. Oh, 4 Bitcoin currently sitting in the mempool that Clark Moody's dashboard is reading. And then, of course, blocks to halving. We're at 24,862. And as of today, the halving estimate is the meme number, April 20th, 2024. Let's hope we meme that into reality. Anyways, guys, as we were telling you yesterday, we've been covering it constantly on this show. The theme of, yesterday we talked about the flight to quality. We talked about the bond market. We talked about inflation numbers. We've talked about corporate press covering Bitcoin in favorable light, or rather even in unfavorable light. But it does seem like we are crossing the Rubicon into mainstream consciousness and moving forward. If you are in financial markets, financial media, you will have to talk about Bitcoin. And I say it all the time, look, we're just YouTubers. We're just Bitcoiners. We're just everyday Bitcoiners that happen to make a show. We just cover what's going on in the world. So we realize that maybe what we say about Bitcoin doesn't hit as hard as when a billionaire rocket scientist talks about the same things we're talking about. Or rather, maybe we need to wear suits so we seem like we're more authority figures. Or maybe one day we'll be on the television, and then now that will give us some sense of legitimacy. But anyways, this is another Simply Bitcoin I told you so moment. And Saylor is just saying everything we've been saying forever on the show. Anyways, you can see this tweet by Swan. It goes, Michael Saylor is bullish. Mainstream awareness seems to be reaching new heights of Bitcoin. And this is from today's MicroStrategy earnings call. So we got a short clip. We'll talk about it, and then we will move on into the news. But check this out. He's saying what we say all the time, guys. Love to see it. We're winning, constantly winning. So tune in, strap up. It's going to be a great bull run.
Mainstream awareness seems to be reaching new heights for Bitcoin. We have the likes of Larry Fink referring to it as a flight to quality. We have Druckenmiller noting that it's a legitimate asset embraced by an entire generation and lamenting that he doesn't own more of it or own it. We have Mohammed El-Arian on television noting that Bitcoin is being viewed now as a safe haven asset. We have a lot of coverage of Bitcoin in television, on television networks, news networks, and also through mainstream media. That should continue to grow. As that coverage increases, that combined with increasing availability of Wall Street analyst coverage and new voices emerging in the community, like Fidelity with their analysis of Bitcoin. All of those new voices and new interest is driving education of a new generation of investors. I think we can expect more of that during the coming 12 months. And all of these things together just create a virtual cycle. And as they drive Bitcoin awareness, they should drive Bitcoin investment, and that should drive more news, and that should drive more awareness, and that should catalyze more and more firms to take an interest in supporting Bitcoin or investing in Bitcoin.
Absolutely love to hear it. And remember, guys, I just thought of this as we were live because I've been using this chart a lot. Again, I'm over here at NakamotoInstitute.org. Shouts out to Pierre Rochard. He wrote this 10 years ago. It is titled End the Fed, Hoard Bitcoins. And it's a very simple chart, guys. It's a very simple flow chart. This is Bitcoin adoption in a nutshell. As more hoarders hodl Bitcoin, or more hodlers hoard Bitcoin, whatever you want to say, the Bitcoin price goes up. As the Bitcoin price goes up, mining profitability goes up, hash power goes up, the security of the network increases. As the price continues to go up, more media attention comes, more perceived legitimacy happens, and then more users start to adopt Bitcoin and more merchants start to adopt Bitcoin. And this is a virtuous feedback loop. And Saylor's saying the same thing. It's almost like Bitcoiners have been on the signal for a long, long time. Pierre Rochard wrote this 10 years ago. We talk about this constantly on the show, and it's becoming very obvious to anyone paying attention closely that the Bitcoin signal is spreading, whether it's corporate press, whether it's the corporate television shows, whether it's institutional adoption. Everyone wants your Bitcoin. So I hope you are continuing to stack Bitcoin. I hope you're taking Bitcoin into self-custody. I hope you have steeled your mind so that you do make it through the HODL buyout zone, because it is going to get crazy. And the price is just starting to get frothy. And that craze is going to magnify. It's going to get exponential. If this is your first cycle, if you've only been born in the bear market like Bane from Batman, then you do not know how crazy the bull market gets. Everyone comes out of the woodworks. There's new scammers. There's new shitcoiners. There's new shitcoin projects. Everyone's correct. You're all geniuses. You think you're a genius, and you might make some stupid decisions. Hence why we constantly tell you to stack sats, stay humble, stay solvent, make sure your Bitcoin's into self-custody, because we know one thing's for sure. As the price starts moving up, Coinbase is going to go down. You do not want to leave your Bitcoin on those exchanges for longer than when you buy it. But it just goes to show that the next year, and actually, just going back, looking in hindsight, this last year, the conversation around Bitcoin has evolved. It's a testament to all the Bitcoin only content creators out there. It's a testament to the attention that Bitcoin is getting. It's a testament to every single one of you guys stacking, that we have literal billionaires memeing with us, taking up all the coins. It just goes to show, guys, we are winning so hard, and kind of reeling in the Streisand effect of what we're seeing from the Federal Reserve and Bitcoin Magazine today. This is what winning looks like. This is awesome. They fudge you, classic billionaire or institutional adopter playbook. FUD Bitcoin. Make sure the price dumps. Stack your Bitcoins. Embrace Bitcoin. Well, now we're going into that next part of the cycle where it seems like the regulatory floodgates are going to open up and Bitcoin is going to go nuclear. Anyways, I'm going to cut this one short because I know we have a lot to talk about in the news. So, Rustin, what's your thoughts on this?
When you showed that diagram immediately, like if you reverse engineer that, like you go backwards, that's the deterioration of the fiat system as the Bitcoin hoarding is playing out, because the monetary supply has to increase.
Let me pull that up so we can visualize this.
Yeah, so if we go back like down there, it was like businesses, the reputation increases. Well, institutional reputations are diminishing. Banks, well, didn't they have like a blackout this morning come across?
Yeah,
we're checking that out. So
Bitcoin never goes down.
Times. Yep, Bitcoin up 99.99999 over the 14-year span. So we're looking good out here.
Man, it feels so good winning. Actually, I think I'm gonna take it back. It's a little sober Bitcoin here. This is the moment in The Big Short where it's like, just don't dance. I'm trying not to dance. I've been telling you guys for a while. I'm going to be absolutely bull-tarded AF. And just remind me in the chat, guys. Opti, stop dancing. Don't.
And Matt nails it. It's not hoarding; it's saving. It's what has been stolen from you for. Well, if you really go back to 1914, 1913, the creation of the Fed, when they went off the gold standard to support World War I, it's kind of interesting. They're just a few years apart when they come to be. Then there is no. There's a definite correlation, causation with the default in the 30s. Then going off again for World War II, 70s default, Vietnam, Iraq, now all of this calamity. Fiat is the money that spreads death and destruction around the world. So as that diminishes, something else takes its place, and it's completely counter to all of that. It's the sound money future. It's Bitcoin. And I just love seeing that yesterday. We've gone into Larry Fink in depth. We've kind of gone here in the pros, the cons, and the other sides. We've gone into the ideas of forks and these things, which we've already defeated those things. No one can stop Bitcoin. All right. We've had the block size war. That precedent is done. So all you're doing in fighting Bitcoin is ruining your own self-preservation and your opportunity to save for your own future. You're cutting into your own future's pocket. So do so at your own expense.
Yeah. And furthermore, I think kind of you touched on, or as Nico always says, you buried the lead there. as we get more public consciousness conversation going, people are going to ruin their reputations by being anti-Bitcoin, and that will just further accelerate the demise of the fiat traditional world. Because if they're not saying favorable things about Bitcoin, then that just leads into questioning their integrity in the first place. And if this sudden change of balance and attention happens like quickly overnight, man, it could get absolutely crazy.
That gets into, and we've had him on a lot, kind of into the Dunworth, Peter Dunworth theory of like the really like gradual, then suddenly means real suddenly. That's kind of his take on it. So, I mean, there's so many ways it can play out. There is no predictive method. You just know that there currently is the slow, gradual climb. Demand is going to continue to increase because fiat will continue to diminish as its reputation, its stature, it serves no purpose as money other than a method of exchange, and a very shitty one at that, because you're censored and monitored with all your exchanges unless you're using cash, of course. But yeah.
Gradually, then suddenly. We are still in the gradually part, but hey, buckle up. Make sure your sats are in cold storage. Anyways, before we get into covering today's news topic, shouts out to the boys over at Bitcoin Magazine, aka the Bitcoin Conference, Bitcoin 2024. We are taking over Nashville, July 25th, 27th, 2024. Get your tickets today. I say this all the time, and I say it kind of jokingly and trolling. Get your tickets today, because I know you're going to FOMO into the conference, or rather you're going to have FOMO when the conference is happening. Like, oh, you're too cool to buy the ticket. You like trolling the conference. But when it happens, everyone likes to have fun, party with your favorite Bitcoiners, party with your friends and family out there. And we're taking over Nashville. Nashville is going to be awesome. Anyways, you can use the promo code SIMPLY and get yourself a discount on those tickets. This is the cheapest it's going to be. So get them now, guys, and we will see you in Nashville. I'm pretty sure we'll bring the whole crew there. So we'll see you in the flesh. Anyways, let's get into today's news story. We got a lot to cover.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air-gapped security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more.
All right, guys, make sure you hit the QR code. We do this by design. You get yourself your very OPSEC friendly Nokia, aka your Passport Foundation device,
and they look clean. They look
and
clean.
then you get yourself the stamp seed so that you can secure your seed phrase for the long term. Anyways, Rustin, let me know what I got to do.
Let's go ahead and get it started, because I think it's a good lead in. Let's start with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, and this was just the other day before the finish of the trial, talking about how the media portrayed this guy. So let's start with that.
Who SBF's a PR team is, but they're doing an incredible job.
For real?
Well, I mean, the dude
sending?
ripped tons of people off and stole their money, and yet he's getting basically, back rub from the press.
Well, don't you think that's because of the amount of money that he donated?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
It might have something to do with that. I'm not that cynical. I generally don't think people are influenced by money.
Well, I don't know what he's doing, but
something's going on.
The number of articles that I've seen where it's like, where it's basically, a misunderstood philanthropist, is ridiculous.
Wow, hit the nail on the head. All right, Rustin, do I bring your screen in or my screen?
All right. So that was interesting. When you played, I did not see the clip or any of that. So kind of cool. But hopefully you guys got that and got the signal and saw what was going on there. Yeah, let's go into this news. So Opti's going to drag that over for us. We got
my screen or your screen?
My screen. And then we'll roll the clips as we go.
We're showing Slack here.
Oh, let me see here. Whoa. See, my thing is lagging super hard right now. Let's see what we
you
can...
seem to be coming in for me, bro.
Okay, good. All right. So there we go, Opti. Let's bring it in. So we know how they treated him. They know he was their darling. They said he was like this famous trader. He was this crypto marvel. No one heard of the guy. And then the Miami Heat made a stadium after him and all this bullshit. He was like, you know, at least Steve Jobs did some work. At least he built something and made something. I don't know what this guy did. I don't know how he graduated college at whatever, MIT. You got to be shitting me if you saw any of this trial. All right. But anyway, guys, you know, we got Osama. We got we got a Saddam. And it looks like we also got SBF. Let's roll it.
Okay. I got you right here. Wow, Rustin. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The cryptocurrency industry might be new. The players like Sam Bankman-Fried might be new. But this kind of fraud, this kind of corruption is as old as time. And we have no patience for it.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Now let's get to the news, Opti. We got a good article from Zero Hedge for you guys. Taken down. Let's see. Can you guys see the article?
Yeah, it's looking a little blurry for me. Let me see if I bring it in again.
Let me zoom it in. Looking good, Opti?
A little blurry, but just keep going.
Okay, so here we go. Final faces over 100 years in prison, but again, we won't know until March 28th. But 15 days of testimony, an hour and a half. Oh, wait. 4.5 hours of deliberation. Not long, so they were kind of like in and out. We get it. Guilty on all 7 counts related to fraud and money laundering. Something is missing there, though. I'm kind of upset about that. He's scheduled to be sentenced March 28th for possibly more than 100 years in prison. Of course, he's going to appeal, but this is interesting because SBF is one of the most responsible for Biden and the Democrats. He's their number 2 donor behind George Soros, so that's kind of cool. Not really. Even though you're one of the biggest donors, I assume he does not know who you are. This was them talking about SBF knowing Biden, et cetera. And then at the end, so you've never met with him, even though you're one of the people who is amongst the one most responsible for him being in office. He said, yep. So I don't know if you know the history of either of those 2 people, but I don't think I would trust SBF or Biden's words as far as I could throw either of them. And despite his vegan diet, it's not doing very good for his weight. I don't think I could throw that guy very far. Yes, gonna have the appeal, including 7 counts, wire fraud, money laundering, securities fraud. And yeah, bad news, ladies and gentlemen. So what was it all about? They were trying to figure out, did SBF orchestrate the grand scheme? According to U.S. Attorney Nicholas Roos, the answer lies in a pyramid of deceit with $10 billion in customer funds vanishing into a black hole of personal indulgences and opaque financial maneuvers. The defendant schemed and lied to get money, which he spent, Roos told the court, dismantling the image of an earnest entrepreneur caught in a misstep. Yeah, don't fall for that BS. But again, what was missing is very interesting because, well, SBF did not face campaign finance charges when the whole thing was a racket used to do just that. So it's very interesting on what they choose to identify and not. But also, Elon talked about the media. Who controls the media? About 70 to 80% are funded by the pharmaceutical companies and things of that nature. They are not here looking out for your best interest. They are not here to inform you, to educate you. That does not serve them. Okay. So it's great to see that. We'll see what happens in March, but it looks like justice is being served. And just a friendly reminder out there to all of you, Larry David is the effing GOAT, okay? So say what you want about Larry David. He did the world a service that day. All right, moving on. Here is where it's going to get interesting, okay? Seems to be a connection. Now, this is from about a year ago, so we know where things were at that point, not looking good. This is because it was at, let me see, Pacific Bitcoin was about when it all came unraveled. So this is just a couple months after all that, and he's just like, hell, guys seemed all right. Why not? Like Kevin O'Leary is, I don't know if this is the equivalent of the late 30s when people were schmoozing with Hitler at like the UN or something, but I don't know. It's eerily familiar. Maybe I already lost my argument because I mentioned Hitler, but hey, he's bald. There could be something going on there. Is shitcoining a degenerative disease? Let's find out and see what Kevin O'Leary shows us.
I watch Shark Tank. One of the things you've said repeatedly on Shark Tank is that you are happy and you prefer to back entrepreneurs that have failed before because they've got more experience, they've failed before. If SPF knocked on your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture. I have a new crypto venture. I need money. Would you back him?
That's a great question. No one's asked me yet. I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe. He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
All right, so if after watching that you felt like Squidward when he takes his brain out and then he erases all the lines and puts it back in, you're on the good side of the bell curve here. Now, guys, we're getting into some other side here. We understand SBF and all that, and the people scamming that get all this recognition and looked at as experts. Maybe they should be looking in different directions, like right here in the Fed now. What's wrong with that? Now, I have a challenge for you guys out there, all you in the comments. I had this idea, and it's a great meme. So it's Jerome Powell. He's sitting at the table. He's got a coloring book, and he's trying to make his new Fed Now logo, and then he's rage quitting because people are, hey, stop making fun of my CBDC, guys. I worked a month on this. Stop making fun of it, okay? But what he's really doing, and Opti hinted at this, let's see if it pulls up. There's something called the Streisand effect, okay? I would like to get this up here so you don't just have to take my word for it, but let's see. Guys, the Streisand effect is when you try to...
pull it up for you.
Yeah, see if you can grab that, Opti. My thing is
lagging.
Continue.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll get it.
Streisand effect is when you try to censor something and you have complete blowback because that inadvertently you're advertising for the thing. So people are going to see the Fed is upset about this. Well, why is the Fed upset about this? Then people who, well, Bitcoin magazine, or why do they hate Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is the complete opposite. It is the antithesis to the military-industrial complex, the Cantillon effect. All of these things. So if you guys check in on there, the Streisand effect, the unintended consequences of attempts to hide, remove, or censor information where the effort instead backfires and creates more awareness. All of this with SBF and that, and it even created an opportunity. Opti was talking about this with my dad. Like he constantly was getting crypto, Bitcoin mixed up. And then yesterday I saw him and I was like, yo, they got that SBF guy guilty. And I was like, yeah. So, and he said, the crypto scheme guy. And I was like, right, crypto, not Bitcoin. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we're getting there. We're planting those seeds. But we need to continue because this will not be the first. It is not going to be the last. The statists are going to be statists. Central planners are going to be central planners. Financial terrorists are going to be financial terrorists. And they're going to try to embezzle. They're going to try to create paper Bitcoin, and they're going to do all these things. But Bitcoin always exposes the frauds. It always does, whether it be Elizabeth Warren or Kevin O'Leary, okay? Bitcoin is doing it all the time. And we want to drive this point home. You need to make sure that you're taking self-custody of your Bitcoin. If you're not, it's not your Bitcoin. Now, there are some positive effects in certain ways that Opti will cover with the ETF and some different things there. But if you're a real Bitcoiner, you want self-custody, not Larry Fink holding your Bitcoin. That may benefit some people that need that type of thing. But Coinbase, Binance, all of these things with the big dogs getting in, they would probably love to shake these guys out and stack some corn. So we also know the SEC allegations and the lawsuits on the horizon with Binance and these people. So make sure using trusted Bitcoin only services. Do not mess with any altcoin crypto casino. We know where that leads. It is a recipe for disaster, and we've been telling you this for a long time. So we're going to play this old clip on an episode where we talked about Gary Gensler saying, hey, Bitcoin, if it's not Bitcoin, it's an unregistered security, and it's probably going to zero. So great one here. Jack Mahler sends the signal. Shout outs to producer John. This is a straight heater.
The equities market. And so what Brian Armstrong somehow did, to his own fault, and that's why I'm calling him out, is he tried to replicate the equities market. He found his business advantage as I'm a first mover. I was here first. I have the most licenses. And sure, Jack, you can sell Bitcoin, but I sell Algorand coin and Pink coin and Left Sock coin and barbecue chicken coin. And so you can never compete with me because I've built this regulatory moat and this first mover advantage. And what he's done is he's built a proxy long positions on altcoins, which make no sense, right? And he's replicated the equities market.
So Binance.
Incredible. You're muted, Rustin, for some reason.
Yeah, and then there's that montage of all of the times we were going through. So make
sure
I
can keep going. I can keep playing it.
Oh, do it, Opti, do it. There's some signal there.
Binance.us has no Bitcoin. As soon as it's deposited to Binance.us, it's sent to Binance International, where it's completely out of the hands of US regulators.
It's very interesting that Binance knew exactly which strings to pull in the FTX collapse. It's almost like they have intimate knowledge of the workings of the company because they're probably doing it themselves. So funds not Safu.
Coinbase seems to be a potential target, especially since CEO Brian Armstrong was one of the first to report on the staking crackdown. All centralized protocols will be labeled unregistered securities.
So I'm not saying like CZ has an agenda or is bad or whatever. I'm just saying like there's obviously periods where their proof of reserve wallets have changed. They've switched them up. They've commingled corporate funds and recovery funds. And customer funds and admitted to it. And I raised that up and people were like, FUD. And I'm like, guys, like,
buy Bitcoin, earn Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin, take that Bitcoin into self-custody and forget about it. As a Bitcoiner, you will be watching from the sidelines with your popcorn saying, I can get cheaper Bitcoin now because of this disaster that they caused.
Crypto giant Binance moved $400 million from U.S. partner to firm managed by CZ himself. This sounds a lot like the insider movements from FTX to Alameda. On one occasion, Binance only had $100 million in stored collateral to support $1.7 billion in Binance pegged USDC.
We're financially okay. People can withdraw 100%.
Looking real good out there.
Okay. All right. Wow. I think the point was made. Oh, man. Incredible job.
Bitcoin only, guys.
Wow. Oh, my God. All right. Well, Rustin, is there more, or is this the point where I start ranting a little bit?
So, things are getting pretty interesting out there. The Fed's fighting us. It's a futile effort. I guess we should applaud their, I don't know, valiance or whatever. But hey, good things are happening. Bitcoin is set to destroy the financial tyrants and free society. But yeah, Opti, what are your thoughts? A lot of news today.
Yeah. All right. Well, my cynical take at first is obviously we shall see what actually happens with SBF. Moving forward, I know there's some kind of delay between this guilty conviction and his sentencing. So I don't like to wish a cage or state violence on anyone, but I also believe in being a good person. And, we believe that this is a symptom of shitcoinery. Some people might angle this as SBF just doing, good old fashioned fraud and trying to get away with it. There is seemingly some collusion in regards to the powers that be and the media. And while this whole thing has been happening, us Bitcoiners have been ringing the alarm on this since probably the very beginning. And we get called toxic and we get rolled into shitcoiners making us all look bad. FTX blew up. They had, what was it like? I forget what the numbers was, but something ridiculous of no paper or no actual Bitcoin on their exchange, a stupid amount of paper Bitcoin over there. And it literally, adding that with the China ban on mining, it neutered the last bull market. Again, we all get made look bad because of the shitcoiners out there. But looking at the bright side, shouts out to FTX for giving us cheap sats for so long. I know it was a pretty brutal bear market. It was pretty tough, especially if you're on the Bitcoin standard. It was a long, drawn out bear market, but I think.
Hey, that's a good comment from Tora Pottle. Meme it into reality. Prisoner swap. Release Ross and lock up SBF. Let's do it. Start the petition today.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, look, again, I hate to sound like a statist here, but like there's laws in America. This is why we think moving forward, especially considering what the SEC is angling in regards to shitcoin, you can't be jumping into shitcoins anymore because they are all unregistered securities. There's Bitcoin and there's shitcoin. And so, FTX came on the scene strong. They had arenas with their names on it. SBF was out there as, what was his meme? Altruistic.
Effective altruism.
Yeah, effective altruism. Obviously not effective, nor was it altruistic. It's just a good virtue signaling meme. And we have to deal with the calamity of all this stuff. Every conversation that I've had recently, whether it's my parents, whether it's friends that are, just vaguely aware of Bitcoin and shitcoins and the crypto industry, have all asked me the same thing. What's up with this SBF guy? And, it's just like, this guy's a fraud. He's been known to be a fraud since the very beginning. Most every Bitcoiner that I know has been calling it out since the very beginning. And then it turns out that they literally had no Bitcoin on their platform. So hopefully this saga can finally come to rest, because I've been saying all year, they're going to use this low-hanging fruit example for as long as it has weight. And even when he goes to jail, they will still use this example. So I don't think we are out of the woods yet in regards to the SBF saga. Maybe this is going to be like a Mt. Gox saga thing, where like, it's always going to be that umbrella looming above us, that storm that's like, oh, well, what about another FTX? And this is why we need to regulate Bitcoin and shitcoin. And it just goes to show just how early we really are in the Bitcoin space. And we've been covering it a long time. Say what you want about the powers that be, the ABC men out there. But I do believe that there may, again, I hate to be labeled as a statist. I can already hear you guys calling me a statist, but having some, what's the meme, regulatory guidelines here and just showing that Bitcoin is something different.
Opti, he violated people's natural law, right? Wasn't that their property that he stole?
This is true. That's what I'm saying.
Misallocated? Like these are very basic tenets. Yeah.
Very basic. He literally stole from you guys. You guys are still bigging him up. Kevin O'Leary out here, I think it was XX. He's like, look, Kevin O'Leary is the host of Shark Tank. His literal job is to look into people's backgrounds. And he still is endorsing SBF. Like, the amount of clown world stuff that has gone on around SBF is absolutely incredible. It's damn near nauseating. And, again, I don't like to wish state violence on people, but like, bro, he broke the law. There's very real, long-lasting laws that he is breaking. He defrauded the customers out there. And yet FTX it's in the works of re-rolling itself out without SBF. Like, that brand is absolutely destroyed. I don't know anyone in their right mind who would want to put any
Nick
Bitcoin
Carter
on FTX. It's absolute clown world. Hence why I really like that montage. I'm glad we played that as well, Rustin. Is we've been saying for a long time, look, we know all Bitcoin companies aren't perfect, but you want to make sure that you are at the very least going to a Bitcoin only exchange to get your Bitcoin, because you never know what's going to happen. And at least Bitcoin only exchanges have put their own reputation on the line to ensure that the customers out there don't get defrauded. Like, it's absolutely incredible that we are in this situation right now. And I think we were saying, and very cynical. I won't say Nico. I think I was very cynical on the show. I was like, look, SBF is going to walk out of this with just, slap on the wrist. And I think it's still yet to be seen whether that is the case. Yes, he is, guilty. And hopefully the court of public opinion will show that he is guilty, and not like what they're saying out there, the narratives of like, oh, he's just a kid, he didn't know what he was doing. No, there's been internal dialogues. We've been showing it all year long that they knew exactly what they were doing. That
I just
was
see
telling Caroline to sell fake Bitcoin. Like, it's incredible.
I just see like big hypocrisy too in leaving out the campaign finance issue, when if you go back the 90s and 80s, there was like this connection with like GOP and like casinos and churches and some money laundering operations that were going on there to fund conservatives. And I mean, that got like, that was a big ass deal. And the politicians, I mean, it was a campaign finance violation. They violated campaign finance laws. They accepted stolen funds. Where's the consequences there?
Yeah, where's the clawbacks on that money? Are the politicians going to give that money back? No, absolutely incredible. And actually, you reminded me of a point that I wanted to touch on. And everyone was saying in the chat, and I'm going to double down even further. Look, we didn't even have video footage of this court ruling. There was like, I forget what it was, but it's something like 2 to 4 hours where they're like, okay, sorry, public has to get out of here. Jury has to get out of here. We have to talk about some things. And we don't get to see what's going on. Like, what kind of shenanigans are happening here?
We only televise trials when someone shits on Johnny Depp's bed, Opti. That's America.
Exactly. Like, what is? And then furthermore, I was going to double down on this. Do not forget the amount of meetings that Gary Gensler had with Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, guys, what the hell is going on here? You guys always say, "Oh, we come on Simply Bitcoin and we just whine and complain about
on that too, Opti." There's that background,
dude. Guys, it's about exposing the hypocrisy of the system. We constantly bring on the receipts every single day so that the hypocrisy gets exposed, so that we can plant and incept these ideas in people and hopefully have them ask questions and wonder, wait, what the hell is going on? Weren't they just saying the opposite a couple days ago? Now, like, what is going on? This is what we're trying to instill in everyone. Anyways, Rustin, jump in.
Sorry, there was Gary actually had some things that he had to deal with some campaign things back with Hillary as well. He kind of got off on those, surprise, surprise. But these things, we see chains of criminals getting promoted, like the felons like Lagarde that dictate whether, people go poor the next few months and things of this nature. These people are not looking out in your best interest. They want to make you poor, and they want to make you completely reliant on their system. That's all it is. But you don't need to be reliant on them. They're irrelevant now.
Absolutely incredible. It's just, it's nuts, man. And yeah, look at what's where'd this guy Archie, shouts out to Archie, says, and what about his parents and the lawyer guy? Like, this whole saga is absolutely incredible. It's really mind blowing. And look. Being generous, yeah, you can say, oh, they didn't know, what's that one rule? I forget what it is, but like what you can attribute to malice, you can just attribute to stupidity. I think at this point, you can pretty much safely suggest that there is some kind of back end stuff going on, and we're just not a part of it, guys. You're not.
I'm pretty sure negligence is not a defense in this arena.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right. Anyways, guys, wow. Well, wait, before I go on though, I do want to shout out our boys because you did bring it up, and let's Barbara Streisand this a little bit. So as we covered, and I'm sure Nico and I will cover this on Monday just because it's kind of a big story. This is us. Then they fight you stage. This is us over the target. I talked with my boy Joe. He literally is the one that pushed the edit button out there. FedNow, Federal Reserve suing Bitcoin Magazine for these T-shirts right here. They hadn't sold any of them, so this isn't like a marketing ploy. I think he told me they sold like less than 10 of these shirts. And someone said in the chat, these shirts might become collector's editions. I might have to get one just because now. But Barbara Streisand effect in real time, and this just goes to show, like, as much as they try to paint SBF as being a good guy, that the powers that be are working in your favor, it's just more and more and more shenanigans, and it's absolutely incredible. Anyways, before we move on to the culture, shout out to the boys over at Kaboom Racks. Kaboom Racks. Go to kaboomracks.com if you are thinking about getting into mining. You can buy ASICs, you can sell ASICs. They'll even host ASICs for you. They have their stellar Kaboom Racks firmware, so you can make sure that your ASICs are running however you want them. Get in touch with them.
That's the best deals you're gonna get on miners, guys. Right there.
This is the place to go. Get in touch with them in Telegram group. They got a solid Telegram group, and get in touch with my boy Alex. He is constantly in touch with you guys. If you are questioning whether you want to get into mining, I'm sure he will probably tell you not to buy miners, even though his job is to tell you to buy miners. They are the goats out there. They'll answer all your questions. They'll basically give you that white glove service every single day so that you know what you're getting yourself into. This is their job. So get in touch with Alex at Kaboom Racks. Jump in their Telegram group. Go to kaboomracks.com. Kaboom Racks. And if you've been on the fence, they'll let you know when's the best time to be buying some ASICs and what you should be buying. And Alex is telling me he's pretty bullish on the latest gen ASICs that are going to drop soon. So we'll probably bring them on the show soon. Anyways,
yeah, I can't wait to see the dynamics of how that's gonna, with the hash rate, the profitability, like S9s. Yeah, those guys are probably about obsolete. I still, from what I've seen, they say S19J Pros, we're still looking solid 4 years of some solid profitability. But I mean, who knows? Who knows where everything goes? But I love the
Who
economics.
knows? Alex knows. The Kaboom Racks guys know. Get in touch with them. Let's get into the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
The chat is undefeated. Shouts out to Planet Earth. FedNow response letter from Bitcoin Mag is so good. Best advertising ever. Probably gonna orange pill some folks at the Fed over this. Oh yeah, I wanted to say when I was talking to my boy Joe, we were laughing at the idea that someone over there, some dupe over at the Federal Reserve, his job is to just read Bitcoin Magazine. Like, his job was to comb over Bitcoin Magazine's trolley merch and write up a report against it. Like, just absolutely love it. And everyone else, you guys are hitting on it. Anyways,
did they not see that's blatant sedition acts? Like,
So yes, I'll cover it. We'll cover it next week probably. The TLDR is that they were saying that Bitcoin Mag was trying to associate themselves with the FedNow system when it was a complete opposite. They were making fun of it. They were ridiculing it. It's parody. Anyways,
trust us, no one wants to be a part. No one here wants to be part of that.
Incredible. All right, guys. So before you guys continue to call me Simply Status Show and renaming the show or renaming the show as Simply BlackRock or Simply Institutional Invest, you guys know what I say all the time. The most important thing is for you guys, the individual, to be holding spot Bitcoin. Literally custodying your Bitcoin is the revolution. It's a paradigm shift. Taking control of your money is the revolution. Do not leave your Bitcoin on exchanges. Do not trust someone else with your money. But with that being said, I did mention this tweet from Rip Van Winkle, aka Daniel Arapol. And I really like this. It really kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say necessarily like planted new ideas, but the numbers here are so strong. It just goes to show that Satoshi, I think, really thought this whole thing through. And you know the meme, Bitcoin is for enemies. I don't know if that's the best meme, but people's incentives will incentivize them to embrace Bitcoin and not necessarily fight it. You know, we know the BlackRock concerns about them forking Bitcoin, but hey, if Uncle Larry Fink has shown us one thing, is he loves money. And of course, he's going to love the best money in the world. So whether he's a full-blown Bitcoiner on the Bitcoin standard, probably not. He's chasing fiat gains. It is what it is. But let me read this thread because it really leans into what Satoshi wrote in the white paper. And I think it kind of sheds good light on that before everyone calls me simply BlackRock shill, paid BlackRock shill, whatever. We knew this was coming. We knew institutional adoption was coming. We knew that the fiat system is breaking. We know that Bitcoin is the risk-off asset. And, you know, we all come for the money, but we stay to fix the money. And maybe, just maybe, we're on the timeline where Bitcoin takes down BlackRock. All right. Let me read this thread. So there's Rip Van Winkle on Twitter, and he goes, people still think that Larry Fink and BlackRock have some sort of dubious, sinister plan to co-opt, manipulate, or destroy Bitcoin. I'm still open to the idea that this is a possibility. Do not let your guard down, you know, but the game theory may be suggesting otherwise. So we'll see what happens moving forward. This is only something that time will tell. Anyways, Rip Van Winkle goes, take off the tinfoil hat for a minute and listen to some reason. Larry Fink and BlackRock are good for Bitcoin. Why? Because of incentives. Their incentives and ours as Bitcoin are very much aligned. As Bitcoiners, we want to see BTC continue to gain adoption as a store of value and eventually as a medium of exchange. BlackRock cares about one thing and one thing only, making money. BlackRock is primarily an asset manager, which means they earn fees by growing their assets under management. The more Bitcoin they hold in their ETF, the more they'll collect in fees. In this way, BlackRock's greed works in our favor. They have a strong incentive to help drive awareness and adoption of Bitcoin. They're going to let loose their army of salespeople to start educating their clients about Bitcoin to draw in hundreds of billions of dollars into their spot ETF, ticker symbol IBTC. Their own analysts predict inflows of $200 billion from their existing clients over the first 3 years. Say they hit the number and they charge 60 basis points as their fee. 60 basis points on $200 billion is $1.2 billion per year in fees. BlackRock trades with a revenue multiple of 5.5x, so that would boost their market cap by $6.6 billion for a $97 billion market cap company. That's meaningful for a single product out of hundreds of ETFs. But that's not what got Uncle Larry all hot and bothered. He's playing the long game. Uncle Larry knows that Bitcoin has more upside than anything else they hold in their family of ETFs. Let's say Bitcoin does a 20x over the next decade. Now their assets under management is $4 trillion from just this product alone. Now their fee from IBTC is raking in $24 billion per year and increasing their market cap by $132 billion. All of this assumes that only 2% of BlackRock's current assets under management finds its way into IBTC ETF. That's their goal. If you're Larry Fink, the success of this product alone will grow your personal wealth by hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. The same incentive is at play for every executive and employee at the firm. Bitcoin is a black hole of incentives, and not even BlackRock can escape it. Hashtag Bitcoin, hashtag get off zero. And there's a few things I want to touch on. First and foremost, of course, Satoshi I think, thought this through, right? He wrote this in the white paper. This is portion 6 of the white paper. Incentive. By convention, the first transaction in a block is a special transaction that starts a new coin owned by the creator of the block. He's going through the mechanism. This adds an incentive for nodes to support the network and provides a way to initially distribute coins into circulation. Since there is no central authority to issue them, the steady addition of a constant amount of new coins is analogous to gold miners expending resources to add gold to circulation. In our case, it is CPU time and electricity that is expended. The incentive can also be funded with transaction fees if the output value of a transaction is less than its input value. The difference is a transaction fee that is added to the incentive value of the block containing the transaction. Once a predetermined number of coins have entered circulation, the incentive can transition entirely to transaction fees and be completely inflation-free. And this is where I think even Satoshi was thinking about Larry Fink in the long term. The incentive may help encourage nodes to stay honest. If a greedy attacker is able to assemble more CPU power than all the honest nodes, he would have to choose between using it to defraud people by stealing back his payments or using it to generate new coins. He ought to find it more profitable to play by the rules, such rules that favor him with more new coins than everyone else combined, than to undermine the system and the validity of his own wealth. And we're seeing in this conversation, in today's theme, SBF was incentivized to defraud his customers because he's creating shit coins. Larry Fink's product is a spot Bitcoin ETF. So if the Bitcoin's incentives are pure, if the Bitcoin's incentives stay working, he's going to be incentivized to continue to share Bitcoin education, to continue to educate his customers on what the best practices are. Of course, we highly recommend you don't use an ETF, but we understand that this is going to open up the floodgates from all the traditional financial markets into Bitcoin. Hopefully, in time, these ETF products will allow people to custody their Bitcoin, because why are you going to trust them? You don't have to pay a fee to just take Bitcoin into custody. You don't have to pay that 2% annual fee to BlackRock for you to custody your Bitcoin. But of course, as Bitcoiners, we are always thinking about the game theory, and we're always concerned about hard forks and whether, bad actors can actively and potentially and in real time affect the network. And so, of course, there is concern about the centralization of coins, but this is why you guys out there have to make it through the HODL buyout zone. There's not that much Bitcoin going around. We constantly cover 93% of all the Bitcoins that will ever be created are already distributed. This is a feature, not a bug. And most of the Bitcoin that is distributed is in cold storage. I think the numbers were like 85% or something like that.
I think there's like 2 million on exchanges, roughly.
And of course, they have to incentivize you to let go of those Bitcoins. Again, maybe this weekend, do yourself some more homework. Go read Everyone's a Scammer by Bitstein. And remember that everyone is a scammer and they all want your Bitcoin. We know for sure that there is concerns. Keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you are protecting yourself. Hence why we always tell you to take your Bitcoin into self-custody. There's various ways to do it. I'm getting yelled at in the chat that I need to do another round of, once again, I'm here to tell you guys how to take Bitcoin into self-custody. So I'll do that in the next week so the new guys can get up to speed. But it just goes to show, guys, I really do believe that Bitcoin's incentives stay winning, that Bitcoin's incentives are pure, or else what are we doing here? If Bitcoin cannot withstand BlackRock, what are we doing here? We know greed is good. BlackRock, Larry Fink, they all want to make money. They want to continue to make money. And look, congratulations to all you guys. You front run the institutions. You front ran Larry Fink. And moving forward, they have no more control of the network than you do just because they have more coins. This is a feature, not a bug. Anyways, I went a little long. What's your thoughts, Rustin?
No, brought the heat up. Again, like we hit on this yesterday, kind of bigger numbers brings bigger numbers. And then we had a clip yesterday.
Repeat that again.
Bigger numbers. Yeah, bigger numbers bring bigger numbers. A lot of people talk about Bitcoin and diminishing returns, but Bitcoin is a fixed supply, finite asset. Okay, and there's game theory, and the incentives are so powerful. Opti and Nico hit on this all the time. All right, so bigger numbers. Remember, Bitcoin wasn't big enough for institutions. Its market cap's too small. It's not worth enough. It's not on enough people's radar. Well, now BlackRock is going to be going in, and they themselves said 200, 300 billion influx, which is half of Bitcoin's current market cap. So we can talk about what that will do to price, but that will also bring in bigger numbers. Bigger numbers means, well, the other institutions don't want to lose, right? Even if they don't like Bitcoin, BlackRock is going to benefit from you using it. So the incentives are there. If I want to compete and stay relevant because of this, we know what's going on in clown world. I've got to start adopting Bitcoin. I've got to offer it to my customers because they're demanding it. They are seeking self-preservation. And Opti's hitting on this. Your greed to preserve yourself, your greed to look out for your future is what is steering people to Bitcoin. And the big thing there that we get into as well, like the flight to quality. Well, what are they fleeing from? That's what we got to think about, right? What are they running away from? And that's the message that isn't being told, but doesn't necessarily have to. They're floating it out there. You know, we have Ray Dalio, we have Druckenmiller, we have all these people talking about the economic calamity, but then they're also talking about how Bitcoin is this benefit. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting how the tables have turned. But the bigger numbers, again, will bring bigger numbers. As nation states start utilizing Bitcoin to benefit themselves, those who don't will lose, or those it will push others to adopt, but it's going to create bigger numbers.
Everyone is adopting Bitcoin because of necessity. Even the Larry Finks and the BlackRocks and the State Street and Vanguards, like everyone is going to adopt Bitcoin out of necessity. Anyways, I want to hit on a few comments here on the Rumble chat. First one, UTXL, simply institutions with the legendary Optimus Fink.
Optimus Fink. All right, that's a meme. We need Optimus Fink.
God, y'all. Sheesh. All right. Next one.
Rumble's savage. We're giving you guys a run.
Yeah. All right. Narwhal Tacos goes, if ETFs are as successful as speculated, eventually clients will begin clamoring to be allowed to take their BTC off the exchange, as some events will surely expose why that's core to Bitcoin. And then he responds, nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And you know, that's a good meme. I really like how Rustin says it, you know, big number attracts bigger number. You know, a crowd attracts a crowd. Humans are very simple creatures. Psychology is it's a very funny thing. And for better or worse, guys, this is the nod to the average person out there that, hey, maybe I need to get some just in case.
But normies aren't going to be like, hey, I watched this thing and Rustin and Optimus Field said I need to get on zero.
Hopefully we can incept the ideas, though.
But if Larry Fink says it, they'll start to catch on. We're trying.
Let's double down on XX. He guys, this is why you want to hang out in the chat. There's a lot of good signal in here that I can't always get to. But XX goes, read my lips. It's the banks, all caps. They are about to lose their assets in bad debt. They will make that up by holding on and off ramps into Bitcoin hostage. Yes, I 100% agree. As we are seeing on today's episode, and we've actually been covering this.
Or they'll try to make you purchase with a CBDC, so then they'll know, and then they'll be able to track from purchase.
And we're seeing this is the beginning stages of then they fight you. We have not seen the direct attacks on Bitcoin. We're seeing kind of these sly roundabout attacks, whether it's fighting Bitcoin, whether it's painting us in bad light, whether it's going out against some propaganda, denouncing them, you know, ridiculing them. It just goes to show that we're right, and we will stay right. Oh my God, hold on. Before I get into the memes, the Bitcoinologist, Optimus Fink says transform and status out. Oh my God. Wow, I'm getting wrecked. All right. Enough of this. I am the dictator here.
Is it meme time?
The Daily Meme Review.
Sheesh. Y'all are too savage, man. As I tell Rustin sometimes, if I source my self-esteem from you guys trolling me in the chat, oh man, it'd be a pretty sad, pessimistic field. Anyways, this is the meme review. where you send me memes on Twitter. Tag me at simplybitcointv, or for the time being at Optimus Fields. Tag your favorite memers, tag your own memes. I can't get to everyone, but I'll bring up some solid ones that I think are kind of on theme for today's show. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. Continue to ridicule the corporate press. Continue to get the calls of action out there in bite-sized form, because everyone's got ADD and they can't read an article, they can't watch a full show. So you make some memes so you can incept these ideas. And of course, make some funny so your friends and family's heads stay in the game. All right, first meme is by a big elephant. And it might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And we got this video here. I'm not going to play the video because it's got some audio that might be copyrighted. But I'm sure you guys saw this video of this family on Halloween, and someone left out a bucket of candy, and they just absolutely raided the bucket and left nothing behind. Well, of course, Bitcoiners are going to meme this. So let's go around. First, you see, the mom, Max and Stacy, and then you see the OGs digging in, then the class of 2013 digging in, and then the class of 2017 digging in, and we're all playing Hungry Hippo trying to get more sats. And then at the very end, you see Sailor pop in. And then, of course, you see BlackRock, ETF, and the Fed. They come in, and there's no more Bitcoin left. There's no Bitcoin left because we have taken Bitcoin into cold storage. We have controlled our keys, and they're going to have to get us our Bitcoin from our winning hands. I was gonna say the meme, but they're gonna offer you a price, guys. They're gonna give you the world. Do not sell your Bitcoin to them. HODL. Make it through the HODL buyout zone. Anyways, next meme is by Lynn Alden.
This one goes hard.
Shouts out to Lynn Alden. She's usually one of the best macro analysts out there, but when she drops a meme ridiculing the macro situation, you just know it hits hard. And Rustin covered this yesterday. So she's quote tweeting Japan to approve a $110 billion stimulus package to fight inflation. Clown world, Keynesian economics. You print money to fight inflation. Now,
you can't fix stupid, Opti.
If that hypocrisy isn't evident to you, then I have some more homework to do here, and I'll have to explain why. Okay, and here we got this Breaking Bad meme, and it just, he's staring. I don't even know what the guy's name is. I've never seen Breaking Bad, but I know it's from here. He goes, when you're just getting started. Walter White, yeah, okay. Because when you're just getting started, nothing stops this train, and he's looking just so on point, on the mission. Guys, we say it all the time, stealing it from Greg Foss. It's 11th grade math. They have to continue to print. They will find ways to print more. They will find ways to gaslight you into thinking we need to print more money. They will even start wars to print more money. But one thing is for sure. They have to print more and more to keep the system alive. Hence why
they have to maybe sometimes create problems that allow them to do so. But
who knows? We're not speculating. But one thing's for sure, they're stealing your wealth. So we've opted out. Saving Bitcoin, something that cannot be debased, something that they can't steal, property that they cannot steal. Seems like such a simple decision. Anyways, we got RD BTC, aka at RD_BTC on Twitter. And again, quote tweeting the same tweet. Running out of ideas, I guess. Hashtag inflation, hashtag central banks, hashtag Bitcoin. And we got the flex. Is it flex tape? Yeah, flex tape. And it's central banks. And you see the hole that they caused in the system is inflation caused by more money printing. And they slap the flex tape on it. And the water continues to go through the tape because they're just printing more money. And it's so simple. When they print more money, it causes inflation. The expansion of the money supply is the root cause of inflation. So if you print more money, how does that fix inflation? Oh my goodness. It's almost like they don't teach you economics in school. It's almost like they gaslight into believing that they have the solutions when they are literally the problem. Okay, next one is Greg Zaj. And classic King of the Hill meme here. I really enjoyed this. Hank Hill's talking to Bobby Hill, and he goes, you know what's not cool, Bobby? Printing money to fight inflation. That's what's not fucking cool. Quit printing money. Quit stealing our wealth. It's so simple, guys. I will continue to beat this drum until every person on planet Earth understands that printing more money causes inflation. They're literally stealing from you. Wake up. Okay, next one. Shout out to my boy Nick Can't Mind. He recycles this meme constantly, but he's got the updated version here, and he goes, how the Bitcoin bull market is going to go. And we got Larry Fink here. This is, what is this, like, is this like
This
James?
is epic.
I forget what the screenshot is of the video game, but I think it's like James Bond, or I don't know. It's, it's guys with guns leaving the elevator, and one of them's got Larry Fink, the next one's got Fidelity, the next one's got the BlackRock logo, and the lead gun is the Bitcoin logo, and it goes, remember, no dips. Remember, it is November. No dip November, going into no dip December, going into Valhalla 2025. This is the way Bitcoin is going up forever, Laura. Okay, Gandalf, BTC Gandalf on Twitter goes, we did it. We front ran the institutions. And we got the Django Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's got his drink and he's smiling. And it goes, BlackRock late to the Bitcoin party. Where are all the cheap sats? Where are the cheap sats, huh? Where'd they go? I want cheap sats. And Sam Bankman-Fried gave us cheap sats for over 2 years. China gave us cheap sats for over 2 years. Where anything under 100K, we got neutered in the last bull market. We have cheap sats for far too damn long, in my opinion. But we all got cheap sats. So I hope you stacked hard, because the cheap sats may be off the plate. Anyways, this is the plebs laughing as Leonardo DiCaprio, as a fat Leonardo DiCaprio, because we took all the cheap sats. Thank you very much. We had played Hungry Hippo. It's a game of accumulation, and all the sats are mine. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat as we cover ours live, and we'll roll this one out. Okay, my meme review score for you guys today is some hydrogen peroxide. And I'm only doing this because I don't know what's going on, but my left
Lefty's in pain.
My left ear, I literally can't hear out of my left ear right now. I think I have wax clogged in there. Maybe I'm getting an earache. I don't know. I'll figure this out hopefully by tonight. But yeah, I had a rough night, dude. I couldn't sleep. Your boy's death in one ear right now. But the show must go on. So hydrogen peroxide, if if your ears are itching, if your ears are dirty, put a little hydrogen peroxide in there. That usually does the trick and cleans your ear out. But apparently, I know when it didn't hit my eardrum, so it's clogged. I'm all clogged up right now. Anyways, Rustin, what's the meme review score?
The struggle be real sometimes, but we were talking about scammers and shit corners, things of that nature, and I think it's good to share the message that at any time you can repent and you can recover from your shitcoining ways. I might have a clip from Russell Brand coming this weekend, so I'm going to shill that. But also, guys, stop doing that. And who is that in the chat? Shitcoins and fiat. It's like meth. That shit's bad for you. All right.
Rustin, oh my god, love when you're on, bro. Let's just hope we can skirt that line on YouTube where our channel
right up to the line.
Absolutely. all right, guys, drop your meme review score in the chat. But before you do that, or rather, while you do that, scan the QR code. We really appreciate the support. We are giving you guys Simply Bitcoin themed merch. You guys see me wearing the orange hoodie all the time. Simply Bitcoin themed shirt. It literally says in the tag, Bitcoin or slavery. We get them made by our boys over at Represent Bitcoiners, running an awesome streetwear company. And we are doing what we can to, I think we're kind of in the talks to do some Simply Bitcoin mugs. You guys have told me you guys want some mugs. I know you want the hats. We're going to get some snapbacks and some dad hats for you guys. We do have a project with one of our favorite Bitcoin artists to do our first limited batch of Simply Bitcoin themed t-shirts. And of course, we have Sophie on the job to get you guys the women cuts. So you're not just wearing like your boyfriend's shirt out here, and you can look good and rep the Bitcoin signal. But of course, guys, stack sats. By all means, stack sats first. Save your money. But if you like what we're doing, you
always pay yourself first.
Always pay yourself first. But I know you need some clothes. I know this whole bear market you've been wearing rags, so why not get some Simply Bitcoin clothes?
Oh, get ready, man. The meme
All right.
scores
Well,
are
really appreciate it. Anyways, let's get into these meme scores. I'm guessing I might not be able to read some. So let me. Oh man, I think I just saw one. Okay, 1 second. 1 second.
Oh man.
All right, first one is by Jose Cuervo, and he goes, "Meme, isn't that the Call of Duty airport?"
Yeah.
Your guess is as good
Was
as
that
mine.
Black Ops?
Okay, Call of Duty airport for the score. Remember, no dips from the Call of Duty airport.
Yes.
Okay, BTC is true. Score, more cheap sats. Yes, this is the way. More cheap sats. Okay, next one is by Phil C. And he goes, I give these memes a high five to everyone who used their college money to stack sats. Let's go. Okay, next
Real
one
MVPs.
is Bitcoin for Canadians. It goes, I give those memes all my leftover Halloween candy. Wow, did you... Wow, you're eating candy. How could you? I thought you're a carnivore.
Yeah.
No, I'm trolling. I'm addicted to sugar. I tell you guys this all the time. Anyways, Planet Earth meme score from all of us. A big thank you to SBF for your service for our cheap sats. Yes, exactly. Let's see. Lee S. meme review score sadness for future shopping cart pushers on Wall Street with Series 7 licenses. Oof.
Wrecked.
Okay. Next one, XX meme scores equals 1 Sam Bankman Fink. Okay. Let's see.
Oh man.
Wow, okay. I'm getting ear treatments. Okay, all right. I will use some mineral oil. I thought it was olive
did
oil.
get that.
I thought it was olive oil.
They're giving you some home
All right,
remedies. Right
Opti uses the Telegram chat live for the giveaway. I will use it for the giveaway. I think I'm going to do a few different ones.
It's coming Monday, guys.
I think it's coming Monday, yeah.
Ready.
Score, Chrissy taking a suspicious long look at Optimus Peak. Oh my goodness. Okay, Matthew J, meme review score. Get on the mission. Yes. Okay. The P-Man van. I give these memes Fink, Spunk, and Opti's ear. Yo.
I wondered
All
why
right.
that was stuck.
Enough. This is not roast Opti hour. This is not the roast of Opti show. Oh my god. Oh wait, I forgot. Let's see. Is there there's some meme scores over here on Rumble. Score UTXO Nico switching to Eastern Daylight Time this weekend when the rest of us switch to Standard Time. Okay, meme score by Idle Threat goes, number go up will be the new media focus now that SBF coverage is gone. Yes, I do believe that will be true. Narwhal Tacos meme score, an ETF by end of year because BlackRock is already buying the sats.
Let's go.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Thank you guys. I got something coming if I need to get a little more crazy on my ear. I grew up in the ocean. I surfed. I get swimmer's ears all the time. So I know how to deal with this. It's just, I think I used Q-tips for the first time in a couple of weeks, and I think I might have packed it in. Anyways, shouts out to everyone. This is now a rebrand of Simply Roasted Show. XX, dude, where's the SB gear? Go to simplybitcoin.com. Store's live. You can pay in Bitcoin. You can pay in fiat too, I believe. Pretty sure. But
burn your cut bucks.
Yeah, stack sats first. But if you like what we're doing, we really appreciate the support. We're gonna give you guys products that you guys want, that we like, that we want to wear, that further spreads the signal. And I'm kind of angling for the next shirt to be a little more OPSEC friendly for you guys out there. Yeah. At this point, everyone knows my face and all this stuff that like I'll wear Bitcoin stuff. It is what it is. Anyways, Rustin, what do you got in the works for the weekend?
Oh man. So today we got a bullish one. Fidelity. Maybe Jury and Timmer might have projected 700K Bitcoin like this cycle. So that's kind of interesting. Not me. Okay. Jerry and Timmer is the head of macro at Fidelity. So, so if he's stupid bullish, I'm sure Larry Fink's getting pretty stupid bullish. And then we got some interesting stuff on Russell Brand calling out the fiat system. We are going to take a look at what went down with Elon and, of course, our friend Joe Rogan. So we'll see what they talked about there. Some interesting talks on AI, CBDCs, the building of Skynet, possibly, and how Bitcoin is our defense. against that.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay. Did you watch the Start 9 interview?
Not yet. I am looking forward to it, dude. He's awesome. Every time he comes on.
He killed it. I was very...
He's come on live quite a few, right?
Very concerned about becoming a cyborg, but after watching the Start 9 IRL, I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, if I control all the technology, maybe I'm doubling down on becoming cyborg Opti. All right. Anyways.
Everybody's going to move towards being their self-hosted and things of that nature because it's the only way to be secure in this system.
Yep. All right, Rustin. Well, appreciate you filling in this week. I know you have some work still to do.
Oh yeah, it's a long one, guys.
And then also, Rustin, you're going to be on sessions tonight. Why are we bullish? So
we're going to be there with Wicked and Crypto Cloaks. So going to get really bullish and regarded over there. So come join. It's going to be fun. I'm super excited to hang out with Wicked because we've been in cafe. He's always on stage there. He also does tech tutorials. So I think he's going to love being there with Sessions. And also, I don't know, Michael Saylor likes Wicked's animations and his graphics and things like, dude, so Wicked's got he's like right hand to Michael Saylor at this point. So we're getting closer, man.
Oh, man. All right, guys.
Oh, man, yeah. Just wait till Cyborg Opti gets in here.
All right, well, thank you, Rustin, for filling in this week.
Yes.
I think you and I are building up our rapport on the show. But hey, you got some work to do. So let me roll this out. Guys, we'll be back to our normal show on Monday. I apologize for not doing the spaces until further notice. We have some things I need to take care of on the back end. I need that time back for the time being. We will do our best to get that back so that you guys can hear me rant longer all day. Apparently, you guys enjoy the Opti Fields takes and perspectives, so really appreciate it. But like, share, subscribe to our channel, Simply Bitcoin, on YouTube. Hang out with us in our Telegram group. Follow us on Twitter. We're getting you guys the news ad going on our Twitter. And we are going to seemingly break the 21K subscribers on YouTube this weekend. So we will be doing a live giveaway on Monday, most likely. And I do have names for you guys. I'll do one for the chat on YouTube. I'll do one for our Telegram. I'll do one for subscribers, for the viewers that watch the show on replay. And I'll do one on Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, chat. I think we're going to give away 4 things, guys. So the mega prize is for you guys that hang out with us in the chat every single day. I want to show you guys love. Really appreciate you guys supporting us. But of course, share all Bitcoin content, not just ours. It's about waking up the masses. And then on that note, make sure you are in fighting condition. Get your mind right, get your body right, get your finances right. Call your loved ones, get outside, move your body, eat some good food. It is the weekend. Recuperate because we are coming back strong in the information war on Monday. All right, peace out, guys. I will see you on the flip side.